Hi guys and welcome back to Movies That Matter with the Viking. The Walking Dead finally returned. Big fan. I've seen every episode for the past 10 seasons. Now originally the season finale of season 10 was supposed to come around April, the end of March, but then the pandemic hit, the virus hit, and it put everything on a lockdown. And usually what happens with these, especially The Walking Dead and AMC, is the visual effects, the sound, the music, all that kind of stuff is only done 2 weeks before the episode airs, so they have a lot of work to do, the people who work on the special effects, so it didn't get to be completed in time for the air date. And that came a couple of weeks before the finale was supposed to air, and people were disappointed, and I was disappointed, and I was like, damn you, Corona, you've struck it again. And it was disappointing, and we didn't know exactly when The Walking Dead would return. There was the spin-off that was supposed to come out as well, Fear the Walking Dead. All that stuff got delayed, it got pushed back, but finally, on Sunday night for the US viewers, The Walking Dead returned, and I had to wait till Monday night to see it here, so I tried to avoid it. Spoilers online, which is pretty tough when you're going through Instagram, going through Twitter or Facebook. It's pretty hard. But all in all, I was looking forward to the season finale. It was the Whisperers War, the end of the Whisperers. Now, in the previous episodes, we got to see the demise of Alpha. Alpha, a very, very, very good villain, played by Samantha Norton, and she did a pretty good job. But I think Beta outdid her. Absolutely, he was huge, like 6'5", 6'6". His clothing, he just looked intimidating. He was big, he was fast, he could cause problems for absolutely anybody. And the Daryl Dixon and Beta fight scene from earlier in the season was pretty good. So going into the season finale, the Whisperers, with Beta out to get revenge for the death of Alpha, he had a horde of walkers and Whisperers going towards the survivors of Alexandria, and then some of the Old Kingdom members and some of the Oceanside members. So it was going for this big climax. So did the season finale, was it worth the wait? Me, I think it was a very well made episode. I really, really do. There is so much detail in this episode. And it's called the Whisperers War, but we've known from past seasons when it says war, it's not going to be an all-out fight scenes, blood, guts, bullets, stuff like that. It has to tell a certain story and stick to the narrative it's been telling all season. And I think it built up to the season finale very, very well. Again, Norman Reedus shines as Daryl Dixon. He really has. There was doubts when Andrew Lincoln left, when Michonne left, if he could take over the mantle as the main guy in The Walking Dead, the lead. And he's done a pretty good job. And I'm very confident of the spin-off show that's going to come after the series ends, that he can make that its own. I think it will be successful. He's very good in the role. But the cinematography in this episode, the music, the score, even the CGI, there's a lot of CGI elements in this, and you can tell that's why they needed the extra time to get the visual effects done for this episode. You can see why it got delayed, because there's a lot to do in this. There's a horde of walkers, the most we've probably ever seen in the Walking Dead universe, more than No Way Out. So it's a really well done episode, and I enjoyed it. I love the tension, the whispers are coming at the survivors, and the survivors have to kind of camouflage themselves within the horde. So they do call back to season one, where they put all their clothes with guts and blood to try and blend in, and it's scary. They're trying to maneuver and get outside the horde and lead the horde away from the survivors and the children and the other civilians who are not up to fighting. So that's the plan from Daryl Dixon, from Carol, and that's what they try and do. But things don't always go as planned. They're going through the horde, and they successfully make it out of the horde, and they try to lead the walkers away with music. And I actually found this scene very, very comedy relief, kind of, and the walkers were walking in the beat of the music as well. So it was pretty funny watching it. But the Whisperers, of course, are too smart. They've been doing this for God knows how long, and Beta is he's not stupid. He knows exactly what's going on, and the Whisperers understand this, and they try to attack the survivors. And there's only a few of the survivors out there trying to lead this horde away. It's basically under 10 people trying to take on, I don't know, thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of walkers away from the survivors. And So the music is playing, and then the Whisperers find this out. But then the survivors realize this isn't going to work. So they come up with a plan to go back into the Horde, try and surround themselves around the Whisperers and take out the Whisperers, because that's the only way possible to stop the Horde from doing what they want, because they manipulate the Horde. Daryl Dixon has to go in. You got Carol there, and they're killing the Whisperers one by one. And that was a very scary scene for the Whisperers, because this is something that they've never faced before. They've been the one who have been able to control the Horde. They've been the one who's able to camouflage themselves among people. But now when the survivors do it, they're kind of in lost ground. They have never faced this kind of challenge before, and they don't know what to do, and they're taken down one by one. And then you have Lydia, of course, wearing her mother's mask, and she plays a big part in this. She learned a lot from her mother about leading the Horde away and manipulating the Horde. And then she kind of plays with Beta by saying Alpha, and this gets Beta kind of looking, and kind of gets him kind of bewildered, because Alpha is dead. He realized it's Lydia. He's about to go after Lydia, and then Negan comes in and goes shithead or something like that in a whisperer voice, and Beta has to turn. And of course, this for me is important. Negan was the bait, and a lot of people are being critical about the final fight scene between the three, between Daryl, Negan and Beta. It should have been longer, but I think it actually it suits the tone and the narrative story that they've told from the past season and a half. Beta is this big guy, and Daryl has gone up against him before, and he kind of beat him before, but he didn't. He came back. So he's able to take punishment, and it's hard to fight Beta one-on-one. Also, you have to remember, there's a huge horde of walkers around the place. So any bit of noise or any bit of uncommon walker-esque moments, the walkers are going to react, and then they're going to start coming for people. So they have to be very careful. They have to be accurate in what they do. So when Beta gets frustrated, when he stops his own plan to go after Negan to get revenge for Alpha, that's when the Whisperers fail. If he held his own ground, if he continued the plan he was trying to do, the Whisperers might have won, but he let his frustrations, his feelings get the better of him. He goes after Negan. He throws a walker against Negan, knocks him down, which is pretty cool. Negan has to kill the Whisperer, or the walker, pretty quickly, and then he's down on the ground on top of Negan, and he's about to kill Negan, and who steps in? Only Daryl Dixon, and sticks two blades through his eyes. And I was like, I couldn't believe it that he ended so quick, but it was also shocking because we didn't think that was going to happen. It's different from the comic book, of course. And it was cool. You know, it really was cool. He just kills him, and then it flashes to Beta's false reality. Look, he's going crazy. He is crazy, and he thinks the walkers are worshipping him. He thinks he's the leader of the Whisperers and the walkers, taking over Alpha's role. And in his own vision, he takes the two blades out, and then the walkers are surrounding him, kind of like Jesus Christ or something. But in reality, the walkers are actually eating him. And there's a pretty funny scene between Negan and Daryl, and Negan goes like, "Holy shit, did you know who that was?" And Daryl just goes, "Nobody," because Beta used to be a country singer, and Negan obviously remembers him and probably used to listen to his music. But that was the whole story with the Whisperers War. I think it was done pretty well. I do. And then, of course, at the end, you got Lydia and Carol kind of emotionally coming together. Of course, the loss of Henry was a big thing. The loss of Alpha for Lydia was a big thing. And they've been connected for the last season and a half, maybe 2 seasons together, those two characters. And now finally they can get some common ground between each other, because Carol doesn't want to give herself up to children again, because in the past, it's turned out bad for everybody, and people have died bar her. She seems to be always surviving these terrible circumstances, and it's not like it's just luck. She realizes this is happening, and it's hard for her to live with herself at times. But I think the cinematography, the shots and the CGI where the walkers, after walking off the cliff, Lydia leads them to their demise, that's pretty well done. It was pretty cool. And that scene where Lydia throws Alpha's mask down the cliff, and it's just in slow motion, that was pretty well done. I give props to the director and Angela Kang for that kind of writing. Absolutely brilliant. Now there's some course side stories of Maggie returns to save Gabriel. Now people thought Gabriel was going to die, and in that scene I thought Gabriel was about to die as well. He was sacrificing himself for the children and the group in the building. He was telling everyone else to go, and he'd hold the door and hold them off as much as he could, and he's about to die. He's being held to the ground. I actually thought he was going to die, and he was one of my predictions of characters that was going to die into this season finale. But Maggie comes, rescues him, Gabriel survives. I'm glad to see Maggie back. Of course, Lauren Cohen was off doing another TV show. Wasn't that successful. She's back now, and I'm glad she's back. One of the OG characters, one of the oldest characters, is back for the last 2 seasons, and that's absolutely great. But what about that guy that was with Maggie? The guy in the mask and the blades, and he's slicing and dicing walkers. That was pretty badass. That was pretty cool. And a lot of rumors, people are speculating, is this Morgan's son? Now, for me, that's a bit of a far fetch. But remember, this is the Walking Dead universe. We've seen helicopters, we've seen armies, we've seen people who disguise themselves as walkers. So anything is possible. Maybe Morgan was too far gone to realize that his son actually didn't die and his son is alive. That's what people are saying. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think it'd be pretty cool for the character if the character, for a while at least, never took off the mask or never talked. That would bring a kind of a mystique around the character. It'd be pretty interesting. It'd be new. People could speculate what the character looks like. So I think they should leave the character unmasked and definitely don't talk. That's what should happen. Of course, Eugene and Ezekiel, we're on a journey to find Eugene's love interest, the girl he's been talking to over the radio, and he's doing everything he can to go see this woman. Of course, he has some sort of attraction to her without seeing her, of course, but he feels a connection there and he wants to meet her. He goes to the meeting place they're supposed to meet at, and these stormtroopers come, which from the comics are supposed to be the Commonwealth, these kind of army officers from the Commonwealth, which is pretty cool to see these new characters come in. They're very comic book-esque, very cartoonish, the costumes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, 2 seasons left, you might as well go all out. So that's going to set up the extra 6 episodes that are coming in February. Now, what did I not like about the episode? I think sometimes in The Walking Dead in the past, they have shown scenes, the aftermath of scenes, when we haven't seen the scenes. Like Eugene fell off his bike, we never got to see it. You know, I would have liked to see more of the group and more tension build while they're amongst the walkers, you know, going through the walkers, because they're going through thousands of walkers. And, you know, and all they have is the blood on them, while the Whisperers have the masks. I would have liked to see more of the Whisperers realizing that the group is being the survivors are in the horde. I would have liked to see more of that, build up a little bit more of that tension, and that would have been cool. But overall, I really enjoyed the season finale. It's probably one of the best well-made episodes, not in terms of action, not in terms of badass moments, but a really, really well-made episode with lots and lots of detail, and it really sets up season 11 and season 12 big time, especially with the introduction of probably what's going to be the Commonwealth, with Maggie coming back, that mysterious character. What's going to be the fate of Negan in the future? Because where does he lie now? I didn't like, they didn't show at the end, they had everyone kind of congratulating each other that we survived this and everyone's back together. But why did Maggie and Negan not interact? What's Maggie's reaction going to be seeing Negan as one of the group, as one of the people who was looking after the children, who was amongst the children, who was interacting with Daryl and Karen? Like, of course, they'll explain that Negan saved Judith and Negan helped defeat the Whisperers, but at the end of the day, her son, her son's father was killed by Negan, so how is she going to react to that? I want to see a little bit more of the dynamic between those two characters. I want to see them interact. They probably showed a little bit of a glimpse. They should have showed a glimpse of what is going to happen with those two characters. But at the end of the day, it was a pretty good episode, and I can't wait for the additional 6 episodes that's coming in February, and then season 11 and season 12. We've got 30 episodes left of The Walking Dead universe, the main show, until its end. Of course, the Rick movie is happening at some stage. Fear the Walking Dead is coming back this Sunday, and The World Beyond, which I'm about to do a review for that also. So all in all, I enjoyed the season finale. It was worth the wait. I wish we got to see it in April. I wish season 11 was starting now, but that's just the way the world has gone right now. But guys, let me know your thoughts. What did you think of The Walking Dead season finale for season 10? Unbelievable. 10 years I've been watching the show. Can't believe it. I still enjoy it as the first time I've seen it, even though some characters have left and some of the story options that they picked I haven't really been a fan of. In some cases, not all cases, I still defend the show big time. I think Angela Khan, the showrunner, is doing an unbelievable job. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Give a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear it all. Come follow me on all the social medias. Until next time, guys. The Walking Dead season finale was pretty good.